Manipulation is one of the most deadliest and painful weapons. You want to know why? First, let me present myself. My name is Naya Raymond. I am a 50-year-old retired midwife, and let me tell you my story. Before we continue with the story, do not forget to click on the notification button in order to get notified at every new video posted. Thank you. One night, a man came with his wife at the hospital where I used to work because of an emergency. They were extremely sad because they had been expecting to have a baby girl for the longest of times. They had been married for 10 years and their first child was 8 years old and he was a boy. But the reason why they came to the hospital was because of the fact that the wife was having a miscarriage. She had an ectopic pregnancy and all she hoped for was to have a baby girl. The next day, when the man returned to the hospital with some stuff he had bought for his wife, the wife didn't want to accept to see him, talk less of talking to him. The doctors and nurses tried to persuade her into talking to her husband, but she would not accept. She kept on repeating that she wanted to be left alone. After everyone had left her alone in her room, I walked into her room and sat down beside her. I told her my name was Naya and I was a midwife. She said that I should leave her alone because nothing I was going to say to her was going to convince her to see her husband. I then told her that I was not there to convince her by my words or my actions. So then she asked me the reason of my presence in her room. I said I had just come to keep her company and that would be only with her consent. The look on her face suddenly changed from a harsh and frustrated look to a surprised one. Then I shared with her that I had a son while I was still in high school, but I gave him to my family friend because I didn't have the ability to care for him. After a long exchange, she advised me to look for my son and give him all the love and care that I could because that's the most important thing in the world, having a child. The days that followed, we kept talking and we became very close. A week later, she died in her sleep due to complications. Her husband was in an absolute shock and pain, and it was very palpable and visible on his face. I told her that we didn't need to have a baby girl to be happy, but she wouldn't listen. Tell me now, what am I going to do now that she's gone? How do I move on? He stammered in tears as I was trying to console him. I attended the lady's funeral ceremony to condole with the family. It felt as though I had known these people for years, and that is how we kept in contact. And 3 years later, I married that man. Robert and I fell deeply in love. After our marriage, everything was moving on smoothly. I already told him about my son, whom I had handed over to a family friend. Robert was very kind and understanding as a person. I also told him about the conversation I had with his late wife and how she advised me to look for my son and took care of him before it was too late for me. To my greatest surprise, Robert was very okay with the advice his wife gave me. After so many years, I tried to get in contact with all those from my former town who might have had any information of my son, but all of my efforts were vain. So many years passed by and Robert, his son Brian and I lived happily together. I treated Brian as my own son and Robert gave me all of his support in the upbringing of Brian. One day, a boy showed up at our doorstep and he was looking like Brian's age mate. When we asked him who he was looking for, he said he was looking for his mother and showed a picture of me. For a minute, all of us were in absolute silence. We let the boy into the house and after he had eaten, I wanted to start questioning him, but my husband told me to let him rest and that the next day we would do the talking. The whole night I couldn't sleep because so many questions were running through my mind. The next day we spoke with the boy and in fact I asked him everything that was on my mind. The boy answered all my questions and the shocking part was the fact that he told us his adoptive mother died several years ago and he was left by himself because his adoptive father got married to a second wife who was a tyrant. He showed us scars on his body which he had gotten from the ill treatment the woman had given him. As he spoke, I don't know how, but unconsciously tears ran down my cheeks and I realized my lost son was standing right there in front of me. After so many years, everything was going on well. The boys grew together like blood brothers. Brian had always been a very bright kid, and he grew up to be a smart and responsible young man. while Raymond, on the other hand, was very lazy and didn't want to do any hard work. The more they grew, the more they shifted apart from each other. Brian became a building engineer just like his father and worked very hard for the betterment of the company. Raymond stopped his education after high school. Brian got married, moved out of the house and set up his own company, while Ray stayed with us. Each time we tried to convince him on getting a job or doing something that will help him gain independence financially, he kept saying he would do it on the appropriate time. After we noticed that Raymond was not ready to change, we told him that he had 1 month either to find a job or to become a responsible person of himself, or he would leave the house. After a month, we asked Raymond to leave the house. He was so angry and he became almost aggressive towards me. "I don't even know why I came here. You never really wanted me in your life, and this is just the proof." One day, after saying all these things, he picked up his stuff and left the house. I ran to my room because I was filled with guilt. I almost ran out of the house following him. Years later, things were no longer moving on smoothly for Brian's company, and he decided to come back home with his wife and their kid and work with his father and the family company. A few months later, I got a call from Raymond who told me he was very sick. I told him to come back home. He was suffering from leukemia and he needed a lot of medication and attention. All the money I had been saving for our family, I used it on my son. The relationship between Robert and I got more and more tense because even when Raymond was feeling better, he didn't still make any effort to help for the betterment of the family. The tension was very palpable. While Brian was making huge efforts to help the family company, Raymond was doing absolutely nothing. This time around, I was the one making excuses for him. One day, he said he had gotten a job and would no longer beg Robert to do anything for him. From that time, he started coming home late and even spending days out. In no time, neighbors started complaining about their properties getting missing. And even in the house, things constantly got missing. Robert tried convincing me that Raymond was responsible for all this. But the more he tried, the more I got angry and shifted away from him. According to my vision of things back then, he was just being jealous of the fact that my son could now take care of himself. Things got so bad in the family that I began to think of a divorce, but Robert would not let me go out of love. As he refused to grant me divorce, I moved into the house my son built. It was a cozy apartment by the ocean. It was everything I had ever dreamt of, and even though I was doubtful of his sources of income, the comfort shut my eyes. And also, he was almost never home. He came home for a few days, then before I could notice, he had already rushed out. Few months later, the police showed up one day, and after searching the house, they found a bag of cocaine and a handful of diamonds. I was arrested. Although I kept denying the charges, saying it was my son's house, the police showed me the papers and the house was on my name. Raymond was nowhere to be found. I was sent to prison, and out of shame, I tried ending my life, but thank God, a roommate saved me. Robert and Brian came severally to visit, but each time I refused to see them. It's been months now they stopped coming, and I tried calling our house phone number, but I was told that the former occupants moved out of the house. How I wish I had accepted to talk to my husband. He might have surely found a way helping me out. Life has given me a chance to make up for the past mistakes, but I messed up everything. Now I feel so depressed.